founders of Co-Innovate Ventures. So the theme of the current session on material science focuses on building technologies at scale. So the central question that the discussion will focus on is how do we move from material innovation to technologies that can be deployed at scale. So with this context, I request Professor Rajiv Ahuja to take the discussion forward. Sir, over to you.
So, welcome all of you, and this is a very important session actually, because we are talking about making India, and we are talking our self-reliance in manufacturing. For manufacturing, we need materials, and when we see in IITs the ecosystem, when we look our flagship program, which is a BTech program, most of the students, they love to go to computer science rather than material science or metallurgy branch. So how we can attract them to come in this sector and contribute it, and to make India as a manufacturing hub. So right now we have a lot of initiatives are going on in the ministry, and when we are talking about rare earth minerals, we want a self-reliance in the rare earth minerals, or we talk about magnetic materials, you name it, everything depends in the end on the materials. So how we can grow those kind of minerals, or we can find those kind of mineral in the earth crust or anywhere. And being at ISM, this will be the right topic actually when we're talking about minerals at ISM Dhanbad. So as we have a shortage of time actually, and we have got only 30 minutes, otherwise our next session will be also delayed. So we don't want to wait also here. So basically what we will do, I will give, actually we have now 3 minutes each actually, and then everybody can tell their expertise and what they think actually, how we are doing a lot of innovation in materials, how we can make a technology, and this technology, how we can scale it up. So we can use it the same way, we can talk about the same topic and on a different perspectives. So I will start with Rajiv.
Thank you, Professor Rajiv. So my request is to those my friends who are sitting very big benches, they can come here. We will allow you to go anytime to leave the hall, so need not to be there, because it seems that a few, we are very much, means a very thin population, but you are scattered here and there. But anyway, you can come here in front row. So thank you very much, and thanks to IIT Dhanbad for organizing such a wonderful conference, or I should say this program, and this type of panel discussions. I will narrate two quick stories, maybe take 1 minute in each story. And a story with my group only, with our group only, what we were doing. In 2010, we were working on optical media storage, means CD, compact disc CD. And the challenge was the material which is used in that CD material is the polycarbonate. Monopoly is of some company, I will not name. And how to replace it. After 2 years of the extensive work, we discovered something. But what happened when we went back to the industry that yes, material is ready, industry said, no, it is late because now we have switched, our word switched towards the pen drive, not the CD material. One story. Story two is the current story. We are working very hard and discovered catalysts and this and that, and we can get the hydrogen, green hydrogen. The rate is coming 425 rupees per kg. Nobody is interested. They are looking for something 100, 120, 125 rupees or maximum 150 rupees per kg. See friends, why I narrated these two stories, because if you see the research, the materials certainly is important, strategic materials, very much important materials, but we have to take care of the two very important things. One, the timeline, and second, the market. So with these two we have, and this is the something which is above all the good research, very high-end research, and after this you have to take care of the two, both these two important parameters. Important research nowadays, if I don't tell about the semiconducting materials as the Professor Rajiv Ahuja said about the magnetic materials. So these are the materials of the higher end materials which we need certainly. But friends, if you see the present scenario, sometime when the COVID came, we came to know what are the materials are important. I am talking only around the materials, otherwise the previous panel said a lot about the other things. But what type of materials we need during the time of the COVID we came to know, and we started from adjuvant for the vaccine requirement of the adjuvant materials to the PP kit materials. So in this way, when such challenges are coming, we are also getting aware ourselves the type of material. In the present scenario, war is going on, as all are you are knowing then, and the many things came that what materials are required. So in this way, we have to be our young researchers, those they should always aware at least 10 to 15 years ahead, at least I am saying that a requirement, and certainly some materials are always there, well known those categories are there that we have to work on those materials. Otherwise it will be too late. Synthetic and as well as the extraction through the natural sources, the biological sources, all the sources rich. India, the country is rich with all the sources, minerals, through mining, through natural products, through synthetic chemists, synthesizing materials in the laboratory, all are rich. So, well, we have to work, and here is an important role in morning, in first session also, in the roundtable session also I said, that along with the industry, it is important. Professor Ahuja also said, no discrimination now between the academia, industry, research organization, this and that, certainly. So along with the industry, the work, I think, let's have some other views here.
So thank you. And Ajay, now you, because he posed question to you actually.
So yes, so from my engineering background, I have 39 years of engineering, EPC execution. So from the industry perspective, there have been a lot of questions being answered as to what the industry wants and how the industry will support academia. So I think I owe an answer, and this is where I thought I'll share my perspective. See, it's like this, as our MD in the morning session said, that we have been doing a lot of EPC projects so for within our country, for global, Middle East, Saudi Arabia, we've done a lot of projects. So all of them, the starting point was a licenser's package, a process package which came from a licensor abroad. Now, all I'm saying is, from that package to come down to real world conditions of a plant which is, let us say, pan-India. You have conditions in Odisha different, you have conditions of waste raw material in Goa plant and all different. So we from the EPC industry have all these expertise with us. We are a multidisciplinary engineering company where we have electrical, mechanical, process, all the departments in. We have got a rich experience of working with various process technologies, various starting raw materials and various end products. So what we suggest is, if the academia starts with us together with an EPC company, we work together. Like we said, there could be a live-in lab. We put our engineers to the academia. Academia tells us. So that kind of a synergy, we are very, very willing to really cooperate there, have a little more better interaction. Having said that, from a corporate perspective, I know a lot of corporate people or a lot of industrial people were not coming forward, but this is a time. After my 30 years of, I've been given a mandate to actually explore new areas which are coming up, so new age areas from a corporate perspective. Although it may not, result into an ROI directly, which the corporate wants, but still there's a lot of awareness in the corporate world to get into areas where we have to look for indigenous technologies and not for technologies only from outside. So the areas that we have identified is we are also representing a large phosphatic fertilizer company, a large urea and ammonia manufacturing companies. So from material science perspective, what I would say is we don't want to look at materials or new materials coming from virgin sources, not from Mother Earth again. So our focus for material science people in the fraternity, academic fraternity, is to look for waste valorization. So what the industry wants. So from my perspective in a fertilizer and a chemical industry, I've got a lot of gypsum piled up in my phosphatic fertilizer company, not just me in India, but across the globe. So if there, and we understand that there are a lot of critical minerals, including rare earth in the phosphogypsum. All these years, what we could do only is we started saying that this phosphogypsum can be used as for road construction. So the only thing we could reach is, our Paradip Phosphate company, which is my parent company, Paradip Phosphate, went to CRI, that's another CSR institute in Delhi, Central Road Research Institute. So we have qualified that this phosphogypsum can be used for embankments and for subsoil. So but we don't want to limit only to one application of phosphogypsum. So what the industry wants is anything on waste valorization. If the academia has some ideas, we can jointly come together. You bring us only TRL3, which is a proof of concept, because this is what my starting role in an EPC is. I get only something from a licensor, only like a basic engine package which is akin to TRL3. From TRL3 to TRL4, 5, 6, we have different stages in an EPC. We know we have to make a front-end engineering package, we have to do a detailed engineering package, we have a strong procurement database. So like you said, if there's some materials, you don't know if it is not cost effective. We know we've got a strong database. So we could help, getting the right material, getting the right process, the right equipment. We purchase a lot of equipment for our EPC projects. So this is where I thought, what industry wants and what industry is my little 2 cents on this. So anything, as my MD has already said in the morning, and it got a lot of good warm reception. We are open. We will give you ideas. We can also give you, seed funds from seed ideas as to what we are looking for. And I keep reading a lot of research papers which IIT professors and which students do it. So maybe from there, we have been contacting a lot of IITs, basically starting from the research papers. So please be assured that your research papers are being read somewhere and somebody is trying to make use of it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I have another question to Don, actually. You are coming from US side, and how you see the world's situation when it's come to innovation in minerals or materials when we talk, and how they are scaling up actually. And for India, it's like things are coming up. So what you see about in Indian perspective, what direction we have to go and how we can scale up innovation in area of material science?
Testing. Can you hear me? Yes. I do come from a different perspective than my colleagues here, who I'm impressed by. I'm not an engineer, I'm a field guy. I'm a field guy who's always focused on solving problems. And I will get to the answer to your question, but let me give a little history. In the previous session, a gentleman said that innovation comes from 2 disciplines. And I had been in the adhesive industry for years with a focus on polymers. Those are the two disciplines. And in November 2016, I bonded two polymers together for the first time. Spent the next several years testing. And it is the polymer bonding process, which we have a patent for here in India. And we have a patent for here in the US. With the process, you can bond any polymer to itself, to any other polymer, and to almost any other substrate. That's not just a new technology, that's a new platform because of the range of solutions that it offers. Now, the first challenge I was given was to find a way to seal holes and cracks in pipes and tanks. And I jumped into it, finding out after I jumped into it that for 60 years we've been using the same technology. And 60 years with any technology is antiquated. And using an antiquated technology for 60 years means that there's a crisis out there. And financially, there is a crisis. In the mining industry in India alone, 25% of annual revenues go to maintenance. That's not sustainable, period. All right, let me address your question. India has the attitude, has the people, and from what I've seen, has the backing of the right people to explode on a manufacturing base. India is ready to manufacture for India and manufacture for the entire Eastern Hemisphere and manufacture for the entire world. The collaboration of the IITs and the private businesses should generate the advancements in material science and other disciplines to generate that level of manufacturing dominance. I firmly believe that. And as much as it is the system, it is also the people. I've been very impressed by the knowledge base that exists in India, by the educational system, and actually by the workers. They are all ready to jump in and become involved. And involvement's more than being a worker, it's contributing. And as we grow, and hopefully with India as the primary base, that enthusiasm helps. Because the polymer bonding process will solve the problem of being able to repair pipes and tanks, which we can quickly, easily, and cost effectively, while at the same time scaling up, because it's not, when you define the entire system, it's not difficult. All you have to do is execute, and we can execute. We will take the enthusiasm, take the knowledge base, and explode. The enthusiasm is important because we will have to work with each company to find out which combination of polymers and non-polymers, separately or together, provides the solution that an industry needs. The next step, another industry that we will address is the solar industry, which is, again, is exploding here in India. Our technology will allow them to eliminate epoxies within the infrastructure of the solar panel or the solar fields. By doing that, you reduce the internal temperature of the solar panel. In a testing that was done about 6 years ago, we reduced the internal temperature 9 degrees. C, which increases the efficiency of the solar panel and increases the service life of that solar panel, reducing overall costs substantially. We're excited to be here. We're very thankful for signing an MOU today for a collaboration with ISM to establish the TechRock Local Center of Excellence. And hopefully I can get some engineers out there to join us, because we're going to need their expertise to generate the advanced solutions that we're talking about. But again, the ability to bond polymers to themselves, to other polymers, and to other substrates will open up solutions that have not previously been available. And we're excited to start on this journey in India.
So thank you, Don. So since morning we are talking about innovation and we are talking about venture capitalists and how VC can support in the area of innovations in materials and how they can help to scale it up to a technology to take it further up. So Arjit, what is your views how VCs can help in this direction?
Thank you so much. So let me give you a little bit of background of mine. I think that will connect all of us. I started India as one of the first game development company back in 1998, when at least PC used to be a luxury. We started making intellectual properties like taking actor and actress, converting them into 3D character. The technology didn't exist when we started doing that. We worked on Ultrabook, we worked on Surface, we built our own VR device. Eventually, we started making industry automation with a few bit of manufacturing units, definitely on steels and oil and gas rigging. Example, Schlumberger as one of our clients. Now, when I sit and when I have the hat of a VC, which we run from Houston itself, it's called 1836 Ventures, and in India it's called Co-Innovate Ventures. We usually look for something related and relevant to the innovation part of it. Along with that, if it is scalable. Now, whether it is coming from manufacturing or whether it is coming to probably healthcare or whether it is coming for pure deep tech, usually ROI makes more sense if it is coming from VC perspective. Second, it more connected if there is a patented product or a process where maybe some amount of money can be pumped in and we get a sweet amount of exit. Now after VC, you usually go for another round and then eventually you go for a bigger round. So VC plays a crucial role when it comes to probably the scale up of the entire venture. So I look at it from the perspective if the founders, co-founders and their appetite and how they can probably scale it up on at least from one country to another country. And can we replicate that process from one part of the industry to some other part of the industry? So that's in a nutshell. I will be very, very brief, Professor, because you asked me to be brief. Hope that is fine.
So thank you. I think we can take one minute more, one round again. So Rajiv, you are saying that this industry academia and how you can solve this issue in India and which company when it's come to the materials, when we're talking about materials, where you can say that, okay, you can go there and you can put them in a certain platform and then you can have this innovation, you can scale it up to the level where we need a production.
Important is here, we have to go application wise, and in India also if you see, we have enough manufacturing hubs and they are doing very well. And if I talk about in morning also, I said the same thing. It's a easy way if you go to your nearby places, because IITs we are now in 23, almost each state we are present. So if you take the niche areas, like what the skills, what type of industry are distributed in that state or nearby your areas, and you try to see that how you can help them in order to grow further. in terms of new age materials, modern technologies, improving their manufacturing processes, and in all the way IITs can help, because we are having each and every departments, disciplines where we can support them through mechanical engineers, through electrical engineers, through electronics and materials. So in this way, ecosystem is there, and if you see, the research park concept came also for this only, that how you can interact and you can bring industry in your campus. When I am saying always go together means when you are offering them to come to your campus and you can open your centers in their industry, both will give the win-win situation. So your students are going more frequently. One semester out like programs, I think most of the IITs have started. So your students for one semester can completely go and work in the industry. So these are the ways how you can strengthen this bond, the academia and industry. And then this lead we can take as a academician. The need of the day, certainly need of the day is well known to everyone. But what preparedness is required? Where we have to go 10 years ahead, after 20 years. This we have to define, we have to find out. And we have to start readiness in those directions. Some technologies need today the investment, it will come, the fruits will come after 10 years. But industry may not be interested, because in most of the time, industries are seeing something is starting to giving them very second day. Maybe investing today and after 3 months something come back, return is there. But many technologies are, I think, if we are talking about the vision about the 10 years ahead, then those things will never give you anything today. You have to plan, you have to invest, and then it will come later on, may not come later on. Many preparations required which will never, it's not coming, and then just it is going like this, that you are already prepared for that. But materials point of view, if I talk, that certainly the identification of the materials, important materials, and then application wise, meeting with those industries who are the user, or sometime I am also seeing the use of the materials is for the A purpose, but the same material is using for B purpose. And if you club A and B, both the purposes, the requirement is increasing, and then the cost factor, which I said initially, it is automatically coming down. So this type of strategy also one has to make, I think. And it is only possible if the industry, academia are coming together, working together.
Ajay, I will like to ask you, because you are coming from a fertilizer industry, right? And now what we are seeing in the current geopolitical situation, the fertilizer is important for our farmers. And how you can make India self-reliant in areas, for example, fertilizers, and how you can use the IITs or Indian academic ecosystem, whatever innovation we are making in the IITs or in universities, how you can bring and you can use it and to make India a self-reliance when it comes to fertilizers.
No, you have asked the right question, and which is my mandate as well. So, without really going into deep academics or IITs or something, our own process engineers, because we also do a lot of simulation. It's not that what we don't have in industry is actually an R&D setup really. We don't have a pilot plants, neither we could afford, or not even the management would, that's not our line of business. But from our own business sense, from our own chemical process engineering, to answer this question on, so we thankfully we also have a business in sugar power and ethanol. We have got a sugar distillery, we've got farmers, sugarcane crushing we do, we make sugar, we make ethanol, and then we also have a captive power plant. So because of this full integration, full value chain of sugar, we get a lot of incinerator. After the burning, we get a lot of ash. So it is called as sugarcane bagasse ash. Now that ash has still got a lot of potash in it. It's got 14% potash, and now potash we are importing. So we have done a small simulation ourselves in our own, with our process team. We've taken an ash sample. We probably did not come to any IIT, but there is a small DSR approved a shop in Faridabad where I'm from Delhi. So there's a shop, there's a workshop. It's a full kind of a research center which we came to know about it. So we have done a little extraction and we have extracted most of 95% potash from that ash. So what we are telling our own people is, and since we also know fertilizers, we have a full marketing setup of selling fertilizers. So for us, this integration from a distillery unit, we as engineering coming in between, making potash and telling our fertilizer group to sell potash. Now the only problem is the farmers also need to be educated. So the farmer is happy taking an ash. So what happens normally is the distillery plant sells this ash as a waste material. So maybe some 26 rupees a kg. The farmer in his own judgment knows that this ash is also a fertilizer. So he's using ash. Unfortunately, that ash has got a lot of chlorides in it. It has got a lot of other harmful things in it, which is probably, he may be happy with his yield, but he's spoiling the soil. So what we have been doing is we can produce as many distillery companies, firms in India. We can collect all the ash, make it a potash, stop any imports of potash. So this is where we are already doing that. We want to scale it. So it's not on to IITs, but it's on to our own fertilizer companies where we have to go and pitch. So the small kind of contribution we are doing is, so this is where we said anything from the waste, if you can produce a value-added product. And so on fertilizers, I think I've answered what you're asking.
Don, I have a last question, 1 minute. That India is a very strong research background and we are making a lot of prototypes. When it's come to the technology, there are very few turn out to be in use in technology. What will be your advice, because you are looking at the US ecosystem, and what are the things what India has to do to make them more and more these prototypes convert in the technology?
It's what my friend here on my right has just said, engagement. You have to engage farmers, you have to engage the engineers, you have to engage different companies to set up your distribution system. It's talking, understanding the issue, defining the issue, and then developing a plan that engages with all the stakeholders. It's as simple as that. Beyond once we get our foundation set, repairing pipes and tanks for the mining industry, for the oil and gas industry, for the waterworks, for even agriculture. How we want to explore being able to bond different materials together to develop new solutions requires engagement with the manufacturing companies, with the end users, and then bringing on that together. So we will have to work with ISM and other IIT institutions here in India. We will have to work with the private sector. As I said, this is a platform. The need for this type of bonding, because it eliminates moisture intrusion. It eliminates creep. It eliminates degradation. The end users love it. Once we get past the engineers and the senior staff in some cases, it will be adopted widely. And that will give us the ability to develop the engagement mechanisms, and we'd love to work with companies and different organizations in ISM and possibly other IIT organizations. It is defining the problem, And no one organization can define all aspects of the problem. It needs input from the universe, all the stakeholders. That's what we see.
Arjit, what you want to add something?
Sure. Happy to add probably one of the industry examples. So we work very deeply with artificial intelligence. I'm not going to bore you with maybe the technical aspect, but when we have a panelist coming from fertilizer industry, one of our corporate clients, they used to produce a lot of iron waste as a waste material. So what happens, we bring in one startup who have got a better technology of their own, and then they started creating fertilizers like small balls like iron, right? And that created a complete new vertical of innovative product. If you talk about non-AI, now why exactly I'm taking this example? If you combine the exact AI, I'm not talking about Gen AI or cognitive AI, I'm talking about more core level machine learning, and then understanding the deep level of the material, and then understand the soil, and then eventually when you use that in the field, and what are the kind of plantation that you can do. I think there lies the real innovation. I will extend a little bit, I'll take some grace points. I was a good student earlier. So if you look at a few bit of other technological aspect, for an example, if we talk about maybe oil and gas, which is one of the core industry, and it is one of the affected industry at the moment, and we are trying to replace it with EV. There are lithium-ion batteries, there are alternative source where we are trying to probably solve the entire ecosystem. And in India, I'm so sorry about this segment, we are trying to say that we are innovating, re-innovating couple of new hardware. We are trying to make a statement, we are developing drones. I'm sorry, I just want to understand if we are at all making drones, do we have aeronautical engineers inside their team or not? So from our investment perspective, we usually look at those kind of aspects as an investor. From the innovation perspective, we usually see that if there is the right kind of team. So there is a big amount of connection between industry and academia. So even in our company, the mother company which I started, I had only 49 rupees in my pocket when I started. And when I look for people to hire inside India, we have a setup outside of India like in Korea, Dubai, and of course in US. Here people are more talking about what are the parts that we are going to get. But then from the students' perspective, I'm so sorry, they are not saying that, okay, chalo, naya kuch banate hain, sir, milke. So this is what probably we are looking for when we are trying for recruiting students. So happy to see that, Professor. There was no, at least in my study times during my masters, if I had a professor like Rajiv ji, when I was there in the panel, I said that what is my background? I'm not coming from the material background. This is my tech background. He said, don't worry, I'll be giving you those kind of questions and opportunities. I wish when I was in my masters, I would have a professor like him. So we are looking for maybe ecosystem now Bharat. If you go to 2 months back, we co-organized one very big networking B2B segment in Bangalore, where ADGQ, including DRDO, all of them came. Now we are talking about manufacturing inside India on electronics and telecommunication devices itself. And that's where we are heading to. So gone are those days we are saying that we are a software SaaS model ecosystem in India, and then we are bringing some amount of hardware outside of India, and then saying that assembling is the future. I'm so sorry, we are losing a lot of data outside. So we need such kind of mechanism where we should be having manufacturing inside India so the data is protected. Probably I was the only guy in LinkedIn who was shouting about GDPR Act around 6 years back. Nobody was talking about at least your data protection. Now we have DPDP. So India is going through a lot of, I would say, emerging tech, deep tech. So really happy to see that if we can contribute either by funding, by probably bringing our innovative solutions, or probably if we can get some opportunity, of course, with the academias like IITs and maybe some of the other institutions, so that we can co-build something together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arjun. I think we are now running out of time. We can take 1 or 2 questions from the audience also.
Hello, all. I'm Kesavan Ravi. I'm an assistant professor at FMA department in this particular institute. Is it not audible? Okay. So I'm an assistant professor in this institute. So I'm basically a metallurgist, and the question comes as a part of metallurgy and the students whom I'm teaching to. So this is something that Professor Ahuja had mentioned in the beginning, that how to drive enthusiasm in students towards material science or materials technology for that matter. So when I think about it, anybody who is in STEM or STEM field, if you go ahead deep into it, any system, you would end up having the material constraint. So, being said that, a person who has delved deep into this particular area would be considered as a material scientist. So, the question is, are the students confused who a material scientist is, or who should be termed as a materials engineer? At the same time, the second question would be, at least in India, is the industry hiring enough materials engineer? So these are the two questions which I just wanted to put forward. Thank you.
I can answer one of them, one right, you can answer them. That's a problem actually. Industry is not hiring those kind of engineers, because that's why our student doesn't want to go. They say there is no job actually. So because they import those materials and they don't build this material in India, what we call make in India. So we are not doing that. That's why those people who are taking metallurgy or material science as a BTech, so they are not interested, because they say that, okay, I will not get a job. And otherwise he will go learn something course in AI and then go in some IT companies. So we have to change the mindset of the industry. The industry has to have some patience, and they should develop, they should put some efforts and give also as a time to develop things. Developing a new material is not a developing a software. They compare, okay, I can develop a software in 3 months, can you develop this material in 3 months? It's not possible. So the patience of the industry, then we can lead the manufacturing of minerals or materials using for a statistical application, whether it's energy or any application. We need time, and industry has to give that initiative, and industry has to hire those people. I tell you, in Europe, we talk only material science actually. But in India, I talk only computer science. So this is the way where thinking is developed. We have to change this mindset.
So I think your basic question is to create the interest of the students towards materials and metallurgical engineering branch. And also then you are saying that how a material scientist or material person will be recognized by industry. And see, first of all, this we should now stop thinking that this is this area, that discipline. Now disciplines are merging. As my colleague said, Arjit, that if someone is working in drone, whether he is aeronautical engineer, see, hardly matter. See, they are not aeronautical engineer. A mechatronics engineer, electrical, electronics, and mechanical engineering, these three things they are knowing and they are doing very well. So mechatronics, robotics, they are not the aeronautical engineers. See, the branches are merging, but certainly you need knowledge of those areas, those disciplines that you can study, that you can take as elective courses, you can take as add-on courses, extra courses, honors courses. It is there. So let's now talk more towards the merging of the disciplines. And materials interest, especially materials in metallurgy, all these interests what we are talking, unfortunately, is the job related interest, package related interest. So as the big package, big interest, unfortunately. So, well, if we don't talk about that, the whole story, different story. But today we are talking about the research area, research interest. If you will show the students, say 5 big problems, what hackathons we are doing, why hackathon? Hackathons are very important. You tell these are the open questions, that 10 open problems are there. And now you tell me solution. Then they will bring the solution, I want to replace this plastic material from a more greener material and give this problem, and the students will come. And then students will come, a computer engineering student, so working in that discipline, will come something and will start to think, can we use the green leaves, banana leaves to make this? Then a real the materials or metallurgy or chemist will try to think that how a banana leaves can be used here, and this is the what the research will is trigger for the material science. So it's an interdisciplinary way, and you give the problem related to materials. We are not posing the problem related to materials. From very first year, you try to give them those open questions, and then automatically their interest will come in. Students are very innocent and they are coming with something to do wonders. After so difficult competition, when they are coming to first year, they are thinking that yes, something great will come out, and that gene we have to give. And of course, through tinkering labs, through research park, through innovative projects, through our centers, technology innovation hubs now in each and every IIT, Section 8 companies, startup grants, hackathons. There are a lot of ways that we can introduce this. You have to identify a good problem.
Is there any one more question or otherwise?
Very good evening, sir. So I would like to understand one thing. Arijit sir, you have specifically mentioned, first of all, my name is Saurabh Kumar and I'm from IIT Dhanbad, specifically representing NVCTI department. And on the behalf of the students, I would like to understand one simple point. Let's say we have discussed the things like the drone engineering, right? Drone manufacturing in India, capability of our country. And specifically we have mentioned that we need aeronautical engineers into that domain. First thing, what I have seen in different startups is like completely regardless of what branch they belongs to. So simply, let's say if I'm a management student or mechanical engineering student, but my product is from electronic or electrical engineering department. So expertise maybe comes through the skill sets we do develop throughout our academic life. The question is, like, let's say one is startup already got the grant and they have like 4 lakh, 8 lakh, 14 lakh rupees of grant from the government facilities. The problem arises is all about like taking it further after the prototype. So after completion of the prototype, they are unable to reach out to different VCs or angel investors or even though put their product into the market in presentable form. So how we can tackle this situation and how these startups or the student entrepreneurs can approach VCs or different places to pitch their product and make their product ready for the deployment or the production. Thanks.
Now, this question really have a long answer. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. There's a difference between usual traditional knowledge and the real wisdom. The reason I mentioned about aeronautical engineering is not about their study. I wanted to understand if the founders do have an understanding about the subject. We don't care about their degree or diploma, we care about their skill set. Now when you talk about making them ready, I'll come directly to your question, making them ready for funding. There are two things. One, am I a fundable company? Two, am I a scalable company? So there are two kind of, sorry about my statement, I'm blunt in this. There are two kind of startup that is there in India. One, who plays the funding game. They are always with the valuation model, right? Second kind of company who really want to establish themselves and then want to raise capital. If they are bankable, one-liner answer, if the company is bankable, it is VC fundable. One-liner answer, period. Second, there are innovation funds which is available in India nowadays. Even outside of India, there are funds which are actually waiting who can probably pump in money if your business is scalable, meaning your business model is scalable. So that needs a viable team in the background. Okay, I'll try to make it simple. You have seen jungle, right? You have tiger, which is like They are always like a boss. You need an elephant who have got great memory. You need probably an owl who can see in the dark. That's your CFO. So when you talk about team building, you need also a rhino who can take bullets for you. So we are talking about those right kind of team. Rest of the things like your specialty, your skill set that you can always hire. So if you are into this game and you are actually bankable, maybe you are not getting any kind of loan from a bank, or maybe you are not getting any kind of money from bank, but your business is bankable. For some reason you are not getting that, definitely it's feasible, right? And then there are third kind of structure. If they got grant, it may not happen that you got grant, that means that you are a fundable company. Let's accept that fact. Once we understand how to create a fundable company, investable company, probably we will not have this Q&A. If you want, I'll be more than happy to take maybe a closed door workshop or maybe open door workshop, how to make a fundable company that solves your question. Maybe. Yeah. Thank you.
I think now we should close this session. And we thank all of you being staying here so late actually. And there's another session is waiting, and Professor Singh is eagerly waiting to come up. So with that, I conclude that ultimately it's boiled down actually industry-academia relation, collaboration, and how to put them together, and how we can use VC's funding to scale up what the innovation we have. With that, I stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our distinguished panel for the very engaging session. Now we'll move on to the felicitation. I request our moderator, Professor Rajiv Ahuja, to please felicitate our lead speakers. So kindly come forward. Professor Rajiv Prakash. Shri Ajay Mathur. Please give a big round of applause. Mr. Don Mayers. Shri Ajay Mathur. And Shri Arijit Bhattacharya. May I request Professor Sukumar Mishra, Director IIT Dhanbad, and to please come forward and felicitate the moderator, Professor Rajiv Ahuja. This concludes the plenary session 4. Thank you very much.